Are you someone who loves the rush of adrenaline and the thrill of extreme sports? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to take on challenges that test your limits? From jumping off buildings to swimming with sharks, the world's most dangerous sports push the boundaries of what we can handle. But what makes these sports so intense? And what risks do you take when you dive into them? If you're curious about the risks and rewards, you're in the right place. Get ready to explore the dangers and excitement of these extreme activities. If you're fascinated by this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the Fame Game TV, and turn on the notifications for more amazing content. 1. Base jumping. Jumping without a plane. Base jumping is one of the most exciting yet dangerous extreme sports around. While skydiving involves jumping from a plane, base jumping takes it to a whole new level. Instead of jumping out of an airplane, base jumpers leap from fixed objects like buildings, mountains, or antennas. No airplane required. The term base stands for building, antenna, span, and earth, referring to the types of objects people jump off. The goal is to deploy a parachute or wingsuit just before hitting the ground, which could be just a few feet away. For adrenaline seekers, the rush of jumping from such great heights is hard to beat, but with the excitement comes danger. Jumping without the right conditions or equipment can result in deadly accidents. In fact, base jumping is so risky that there's a base fatality list tracking the number of deaths in this sport. Since 1981, 362 people have lost their lives doing base jumps, with the worst year being 2016 when 36 people died. Because of the high risks involved, base jumping is illegal in many places, including the United States, unless it's part of a special event. Would you have the courage to try base jumping? It's not for the faint of heart. 2. Parkour. Defying gravity with risky jumps. Parkour is another extreme sport that pushes the limits of what the body can do. It's all about moving from one point to another as quickly and smoothly as possible, using running, jumping, climbing, and vaulting over obstacles. Often practiced in urban areas, parkour athletes use things like walls, rooftops, and railings to move through their environment in an impressive way. Some even take on jumps from extreme heights, which makes the sport dangerous. One of the most tragic parkour-related deaths happened in 2013 when a famous Russian tracer, Pavel Kashin, fell from a 16-story building at just 21 years old. His death shows how risky parkour can be. While it looks amazing, it involves extreme physical challenges, often at dangerous heights. A simple misstep can result in serious injury or even death. Parkour isn't just about speed or style. It requires a lot of skill, preparation, and practice. Athletes spend years perfecting their technique to minimize the risk of accidents. Even then, the dangers are real. If you ever decide to try parkour, make sure to train properly and always stay safe. Would you be brave enough to take on parkour? 3. Jallikattu. The bull taming sport. Jallikattu is a traditional but controversial sport from Tamil Nadu, India. It is practiced during the Pongal festival, a celebration of the harvest, where participants must grab a bull's hump and try to control it. The goal is to subdue the bull and win, but it is a highly dangerous activity for both the people and the animals involved. The main danger in Jallikattu comes from the bulls themselves. The sport requires incredible strength and skill to handle these powerful animals. However, the risks are serious, as many participants have been injured or even killed while trying to control the bulls. In the last 20 years, around 200 people have lost their lives during the sport. This has sparked debates and led to the banning of Jallikattu in many areas of India. Despite being illegal in some places, Jallikattu is still practiced, which has caused concern among animal rights groups. They argue that the sport is cruel to the bulls and leads to unnecessary harm. While some view Jallikattu as an important part of tradition, others believe it's time for the sport to be reconsidered due to the dangers involved for both humans and animals. 4. High-altitude mountaineering, climbing the world's highest peaks. High-altitude mountaineering is one of the most extreme sports, pushing climbers to their physical and mental limits. Unlike regular hiking or trekking, it involves climbing some of the tallest and most dangerous mountains on Earth, like Mount Everest, which stands at over 29,000 feet. The conditions in these areas are harsh, with freezing temperatures, high winds, and thin air. Climbers must be prepared to face brutal weather, rocky terrain, and dangerous obstacles like avalanches, crevasses, and rockfalls. One of the biggest risks in high-altitude mountaineering is the lack of oxygen. At extreme heights, the air becomes thinner, and climbers can suffer from altitude sickness, which can cause dizziness, confusion, and even brain damage. As the body struggles to breathe, the risk of making life-threatening mistakes increases. Despite these dangers, mountaineers continue to push themselves to summit the world's tallest peaks. Unfortunately, many have lost their lives along the way. Over 300 people have died attempting to climb Mount Everest alone, highlighting the extreme danger of this sport. Even with the risks, high-altitude mountaineering remains a challenge that attracts thrill seekers who are determined to conquer some of the world's toughest peaks. 5. Auto racing, speeding at over 200 mph. Auto racing is one of the most thrilling yet dangerous sports out there. Cars can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour, and with that speed comes the constant risk of serious accidents. While safety improvements like better helmets, fireproof suits, and reinforced cars have helped make the sport safer, the dangers are still very real. High-speed crashes can result in life-threatening injuries, and the risk is always present. Even with all the advancements in safety technology, fatal accidents still happen in auto racing. Over the last 20 years, more than 40 drivers have lost their lives in various forms of racing. One of the most dangerous races is the Dakar Rally, which takes place in harsh desert conditions. This race is known for its extreme terrain, and many participants have tragically died during the event. Despite these risks, auto racing continues to attract adrenaline junkies and skilled drivers who are willing to take on the danger for the thrill and glory. The sport's mix of speed, danger, and intense competition keeps fans and participants alike coming back for more, even as the risks remain ever present. 6. Cave diving. Exploring the depths with great risk. Cave diving is an exhilarating sport that appeals to those seeking the thrill of exploring uncharted underwater caves. Popular locations for this sport include Mexico, Florida, and the Caribbean. However, as exciting as it sounds, cave diving is extremely dangerous and requires serious caution. The risks involved are serious and can include sharp rocks, low oxygen levels, and high water pressure. Sudden changes in pressure can cause severe injuries like ruptured eardrums or damaged lungs. One of the biggest dangers is getting lost inside the cave, which has led to numerous fatalities over the years. Since 1960, more than 500 people have died in cave diving accidents. Even experienced divers face risks, making cave diving a high-stakes activity. It's not for the faint of heart, as the excitement comes with a heavy price. A constant reminder of how dangerous it can be to venture into the unknown. 7. Shark diving. Swimming with predators. Shark diving without a cage is one of the most daring and dangerous sports in the world. It involves diving in the open water with sharks, often without any protective barriers between you and these powerful predators. While it may sound thrilling, the risks are very real. In 2019 alone, there were 140 shark attacks, with 64 of them being unprovoked. Despite this, some brave people choose to get up close with sharks, seeking the ultimate adrenaline rush. The dangers of shark diving are not to be taken lightly. One of the most well-known cases of shark attacks occurred when Marcus Groh was killed by a tiger shark while swimming in the Bahamas. To reduce the risks, experts recommend diving in groups, wearing protective gear, and avoiding sharks' natural food sources such as seals to prevent attracting them. For those who still want to experience the thrill of being close to sharks but prefer a safer approach, shark cage diving is a popular alternative. It allows divers to observe sharks from the safety of a cage, offering the excitement of the encounter without the direct danger. However, whether in a cage or not, shark diving remains an activity that requires great bravery and awareness of the risks. 8. Heli-skiing. Skiing from a helicopter. Heli-skiing is an extreme sport that takes skiing to the next level. Instead of skiing down regular slopes, heli-skiers are dropped by helicopter onto remote, often dangerous mountain peaks. This high adrenaline activity is popular in places like Canada, where the terrain is known for being steep and unpredictable. The risks of heli-skiing are significant. Skiers are not only dealing with steep, challenging slopes, but also face the constant threat of avalanches and snowslides. In some areas, skiers even risk falling off cliffs as they navigate through tough terrain. The weather can also be a huge danger, with sudden storms, freezing temperatures, and poor visibility making it harder to ski safely. Being in remote locations means that if something goes wrong, help may be far away, adding to the danger. Despite the risks, heli-skiing continues to draw adrenaline junkies from around the world, eager for the thrill of skiing in some of the most untouched and dangerous spots. While it may not be for everyone, for those who take part, the rush of skiing in such extreme conditions is hard to beat. 9. Free climbing. Scaling mountains without safety gear. Free climbing is one of the most extreme and dangerous sports out there. Unlike traditional climbing, free climbers don't use ropes or harnesses for safety. Instead, they rely solely on their strength, skill, and mental focus to scale rock walls and cliffs. It's a true test of endurance, bravery, and physical ability. The risks in free climbing are enormous. A fall from a great height can lead to severe injuries or even death. Common injuries include sprained ankles, twisted knees, or concussions, which can happen if a climber slips or loses their grip. The danger increases with the height and difficulty of the climb. As the further up you go, the harder it is to safely return to the ground. Despite the life-threatening risks, free climbing has a dedicated following. Climbers are drawn to the sense of freedom and the challenge of conquering nature without any safety gear. For many, it's about pushing themselves to the limit and experiencing the ultimate thrill. But it's not for the faint of heart. Only those with the right skill set and mental toughness can take on this high-risk sport. 10. Rooftopping. Taking extreme photos at dangerous heights. Rooftopping is an extreme and illegal activity that involves climbing to the tops of tall buildings or structures, often without any safety gear. The main goal is to take daring photos or videos from dangerous heights, usually to post on social media for attention or likes. While it may seem exciting, it comes with life-threatening risks. The biggest danger of rooftopping is the height. Without safety measures like ropes or harnesses, one small mistake can lead to a fatal fall. Tragically, in 2017, Chinese YouTuber Wu Ning fell to his death while filming a rooftop video at the age of 26. This is just one of many tragic incidents. Studies show that between 2011 and 2017, 259 people died while taking selfies or photos in dangerous locations. The thrill of getting the perfect shot might be tempting, but it's important to remember that no photo or video is worth risking your life. The desire for social media fame has led to far too many lives being lost. It's a reminder to always consider safety first and avoid dangerous stunts that could have deadly consequences. So, is the thrill worth the risk? These extreme sports aren't for everyone. They give an adrenaline rush like no other, but with that comes the chance of serious injury or even death. Before trying any of these activities, it's important to think about the dangers and decide if that rush is really worth the risk. Would you be brave enough to take on one of these dangerous sports? Whether it's jumping from a building, climbing a dangerous mountain, or swimming with sharks, the big question is, how much risk are you willing to take for the ultimate thrill? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Fame Game TV for more exciting content. Let us know in the comments which sport you'd dare to try, or if you'd rather leave it to the experts.